You're still listening to Kumbang channel and this is Ktnewsmacau. The Macau government has advised everyone in the city to be careful with overseas letters and parcels that may carry COVID-19 after a recent case in Beijing was found to have been exposed to the disease possibly through packages and or letters received from overseas. Furthermore, the Macau Post and Telecommunications Bureau has pointed out that it will strengthen disinfection work on parcels arriving from high-risk areas. Meanwhile, due to the increased cross-border COVID-19 risk, classes for cross-border students and teachers have been suspended starting early this week until after the Lunar New Year. There are currently 21 COVID-19 cases in the neighboring Zhuhai. Furthermore, on a different note, yet still related, inbound flights from overseas will restart tomorrow. However, according to Macau News reports, strict COVID-19 precautions will remain in place, with arriving passengers facing up to 28 days of hotel quarantine. A mother was found to be pretending to be behind the wheels in a recent car accident in Taipa, where it was actually her son who was driving at that time and without a license. Both mother and son have been apprehended by local authorities, and the case is currently under further investigations. The Public Security Police revealed recently there were more than 585,000 traffic violations last year, with the fines issued amounting to over 130 million patakas. The Hong Kong Consumer Council has tested 49 ground or powdered coffee products, many available in Macau, and discovered various levels of heavy metals and pesticides in a number of samples, Macau Daily Times reported recently. Only 3 products, namely coffee beans by UCC, coffee capsules by the Coffee Academics, and instant coffee by M&S Food, were found to be free of pesticides. The Il Intenso, both bold roast coffee beans, had the highest level of lead and tin in the test. The council reminds consumers to be mindful of their caffeine intake as excessive consumption may be harmful. It also pointed out that decaffeinated coffee does not contain zero caffeine, according to the MDT report. Some hamsters at a pet shop in Hong Kong were recently found to be infected with COVID-19 just after an outbreak involving the staff members of that pet shop took place. In the light of this, the Hong Kong government will call some 2,000 animals in their city deemed to be at risk of being infected with or exposed to COVID-19. Reportedly, the neighboring SAR will also stop the sale of hamsters and the import of small mammals. Moving on to some international news. A new local variant of COVID-19 was recently found in the Indonesian city of Surabaya, East Java, according to some media reports in the Southeast Asian nation. However, authorities there have pointed out that the so-called new variant still needs to be further clarified and analyzed. The Taliban has been reported to be asking for help from the Chinese government to formally recognize their government in Afghanistan and for China to help them getting the formal recognition from the international world, according to some international news media reports. An American Airlines flight from Miami had to turn around recently after the disruptive passenger refused to wear a mask, the airline said. American Airlines Flight 38 was heading to London with 129 passengers on board when it had to turn back, CBS reported earlier this week. The plane landed safely at Miami International Airport where the flight was met by police, the airline said. Police said the passenger, who was not arrested, is a woman in her 40s, according to the CBS report. And in sports, a leaked email sent from the World Tennis Governing Body, ATP, to players has confirmed the worst news for Novak Djokovic. He won't be able to play the French Open unless he is vaccinated, Yahoo Sports reported. France's sports ministry announced new measures on Monday that elite athletes will need to be vaccinated in order to perform in the country, according to the report. The news seemed to be getting worse for Djokovic since he was deported from Australia last Sunday. The athlete was caught up in this year's biggest Australian Open saga involving both visa problem combined with his unvaccinated status, leading to his deportation that prevented him from defending his title at the Australian Open, in addition to being barred from entering Australia for 3 years. As for the weather in town, looks like it will be a gloomy week ahead of us, with most of the days to be mostly cloudy with some rains, with the exception of Thursday, Friday and Sunday, when more sunny periods are predicted to come. Local temperature within this coming week will range from 13 to 23 degrees Celsius. For more information about the weather in Macau, visit www.smg.gov.mo. Back to our music tonight. This is Vanessa Amorosi with Absolutely Everybody, still at Kumbang Channel. Kumbang, kumpul bareng yo.